Most of the freezing rain from last night has turned into just plain old rain as the temperature starts warming up here this morning, but you can expect some very slick conditions out there on some of the side roads. We have team coverage for you before you head out the door this morning. We're starting this morning with Storm Team 8 meteorologist Laura Velasquez. We also have a special treat for you because the chief has stuck around here to take a look at the weather here, and it's not just the roads that you're going to have to worry about, it's also flooding. Bill Steffen will be talking about that in a minute, but of course, Laura, we got to start with what's happening out there with everybody's drive today.
That's right, Brett. Well, let's set the scene like this. I mean, think about if you were on a little bit of a straightaway, like even on a sidewalk, and you went running and you just kind of slid on your knees. You're going to keep going. That's how slippery the parking lots and the sidewalks are.
That's how you get a broken kneecap.
In the side roads, right. Well, you got to perfect the landing.
Yeah, okay.
It's got to be nice and smooth, right? Or even just use a sled. But now take that thinking and go to like a main road.
Okay.
Think about 131 or Interstate 96, and it's just wet pavement.
Yeah.
So it is like day and night, depending on the exact road you're on. And we want to make sure that, especially if you're doing any travel on those secondary and side roads, you really back it down this morning. Here's what Storm Track Live Radar looks like. We've got a little bit of green moving through as you go to the far north here through parts of Newaygo and Mecosta County. We have a little bit of pink showing up, so perhaps a little freezing drizzle sticking around in those locations. But for most of us, everything that comes down today is going to be in the form of liquid, just rain or some patchy drizzle. Now, the winter weather advisory that is in effect, it shows up through most of the area right now in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. For most of us, that is actually going to be canceled, and they did just drop it for most everybody except for Oceana, Newaygo, and Mecosta County. That is going to stick around through 1 p.m. You can see that's where they have the cooler temps near 32, Fremont to Big Rapids, up to 37 degrees, though, at the Ford Airport, 36 in Kalamazoo. So temps stick in the upper 30s through most of the morning. We're going to start to melt down the ice that's on those side roads. There is salt there, so it's going to start to do its job, but that layer was pretty thick. We want to make sure that everybody errs on the side of caution this morning. Definitely take it slowly. And after we get all the ice melted off this morning, we're really going to be talking about a heavy rain threat. And Chief Meteorologist Bill Steffen stuck around since last night, working a very long shift here to keep you ahead of what's going to happen. Bill?
All right, National Weather Service has issued a flood watch for everybody. This is mainly for heavy rain that's coming here Tuesday night. But keep in mind, we got a lot of snow out there that's going to melt as well to add to that. And the ground is frozen solid. In fact, we had one report of the ground frozen solid down to a foot below the surface. So that combination could set us up for some significant flooding here for Tuesday night and on Wednesday. Here's a computer projection. We've manipulated these numbers to get it just how we like it. We'll run this all the way now to Tuesday at 5 p.m. Now watch what happens starting at Tuesday at 5 p.m. This is when the heavy rain moves in for Tuesday night. We could see 1.5 inches of rain here in the Grand Rapids area. And again, combine that with the melting snow because temperatures are going to be up in the 50s on Tuesday. And that's going to really set us up for some fairly significant ponding of water. The other story is the temperature crash. Look at this. We're going to be in the low 40s today, mid 50s here tomorrow, and that will melt a lot of our snow. But look how temperatures crash. On Wednesday, we're looking by evening at a flash freeze across the area, and as the cold air comes across the lake, the potential for some very significant lake effect snow. So we got a lot going on this weekend. You'll want to stay up with later forecasts.
We're starting off this week again with some tricky travel out there for you. On top of that fog, roads are covered with ice and slush, which is sure to slow you down as you get up and start moving here this morning. Well, 24 Hour News 8's Tom Hillens live in Grand Rapids with how the roads are looking out there. And Tom, I guess it's a big difference between the main roads, which have been treated, and some of those side roads.
Absolutely. It's really a tale of two different roads, and now we got this rain falling again in downtown Grand Rapids. Surely not going to help drivers at all, but I want to kind of give you perspective here. We're in a parking lot that has been pretty much untreated all night long, and you can see here how this is just a sheet of ice. There's some snow that's left over on top of it, but by and large, this is ice and very, very slippery. This is exactly what your side roads look like this morning. So when you walk out your front door, this is what you'll see. So very tricky traveling this morning, especially getting out of your developments, getting to the main roads. But now I want to show you what happens when you do make it to those main roads. I want to show you 131 here heading into downtown Grand Rapids. By and large, moving at a pretty normal pace for this time of the year. Just completely different from what we had last week when we were starting off the week with the horrible travel on the highways as well. The difference, that salt that crews were able to throw on the roads overnight, that really worked to melt that snow. So we clear on the main roads for the most part, but you are still going to have some tricky areas, especially in more of the rural counties like Berry County, Van Buren County, Allegan County. Talk to dispatchers in all those areas. They say it's very slick. So again, make sure you're taking your time. It may look clear, but again, give yourself plenty of time. Give yourself plenty of stopping distance. You don't want to rear end anybody, and that's what we're going to see a lot of this morning, especially getting out of those developments. Live in Grand Rapids, Tom Hillen, 24 Hour News 8.